The Happiness Roundtable convenes leadership to advance the happiness movement. Here you will hear from Aine Carey, who conceived of a model for business and carried it out to great success.
So I have some good news. I have really good news. Um, and I'm going to give you a quote. So 100 years ago, the German physicist Albert Einstein said that the significant problems that we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that we were at when we created them. So basically, according to Einstein, to solve the problems we now face, we need a new way of thinking. We need a new paradigm. So I offered a new paradigm and I call it doing good is good business. And I'm going to define that. And so I worked the last 10 years in the country of Bhutan with the GNH index, creating a business model that can be applied to entertainment and advertising, and actually can be applied to any business, anything, which I call doing good is good business, but it was really influenced greatly by the GNH index and by my time there and having to work there. So I'm going to define good. Okay, so doing good is good business, and I'm going to define good in this context as the basic universal human values that transcend culture, that are timeless and self-evident. Fairness, kindness, honesty, respect, integrity, service, and contribution. Okay? And when you combine, in this context, when you combine good with passion, that life force that energizes your actions and encourages your voice, it becomes compassion and informs an interdependent worldview. It gives rise to that naturally. So in a sense, or actually, the new paradigm, doing good is good business, is the act of being compassionately engaged in doing good. Good meaning the act of being compassionately engaged in fairness, kindness, honesty, respect, integrity, service, and contribution. Okay? So that seems self-evident and obvious. So I applied that to an advertising campaign for Boost Mobile. Applied that new business paradigm, and to prove out doing good is not good for business, but is good business. We ran a civic action in the form of an advertising campaign for a company called Boost Mobile. There was a problem in American society at the elections 2 years ago, and not all Americans had equal voting access. And the advertising agency came up with a solution that we have stores in areas that are most affected by this problem, and that we're going to offer these stores as polling locations, as polling stations, and we're going to create voter awareness, because this problem affects our customers. Boost Mobile is a lower income cellular phone company. So we enacted this civic action. We joined with the government. So first time a corporation joined with the government. And our bottom line, these are our customers. So doing good is good business, right? Coming from these, you can never move away from what good means in this context. So everything we did, our intention was being good stewards of ourselves. Are we kind to ourselves? We are going to apply to good to ourselves, to our aid, to the agency, to our client, to the customers, to the voter, to American citizens and to world citizens. So that was always a question, just like with the GNH index, that's always a question, you have to apply these things. So joined with grassroots groups, joined with influencers. Chance the Rapper, we led 6,000 people to early voting in Chicago. And you can go on my website and see the outcomes, but essentially we earned 860 million campaign impressions and won every award in advertising. How does doing good is good business? We proved that out. 860 million campaign impressions equals about $50 million worth of earned media. So just with measuring that, and we affected our stores that people voted at, had a 23% increase in voter turnout, and we had the highest day of early voting in Chicago, and we had more. So this action proved out that business can make money coming from basic universal human values. And so we can't separate these two concepts, doing good from business anymore.
Learn more about the Happiness Roundtable at happinessroundtable.org and hear more talks from visionaries in the happiness movement.